But first raindrops and then snowflakes can form only with the help of minute particles of dust in the air. For instance, salt spattered from the ocean, or dust from volcanoes, or even smoke from a car. Sometimes a cloud may contain water all ready to form more droplets or ice crystals, but which doesn't do so because it hasn't had enough of the right sort of natural dust. You can then try to encourage rain by seeding the cloud with special materials. The discovery that humans could really affect clouds was made by this American. Nearly 30 years ago, Vincent Schaeffer was in his laboratory making clouds. It was a hot day, so he grabbed some dry ice, frozen carbon dioxide, simply to help cool his freezer. But doing that transformed the cloud. Water droplets, already chilled, froze into sparkling crystals of ice. Even the smallest pieces of dry ice did the trick. Later, he dropped dry ice pellets into a cloud over Massachusetts and transformed it, the first successful seeding. Around the world today, dozens of rain-making operations are in progress. How does the pioneer judge the possibilities?
Under the right conditions, it is quite feasible to get a 20% increase in the precipitation from a cloud system. And we have evidence now that hail and other severe storms can be modified. I think the time is rapidly approaching when we will be able to no longer depend on the vagaries of the weather, but perhaps can do something about it. It may be easier to control the weather than to forecast it.
But unless you can forecast how clouds would behave naturally, how can you be sure that you've really controlled them? Humpy cumulus clouds, like these over Florida, are prime targets for the hopeful modifiers of the weather. The U.S. government's environmental research laboratories have long-running trials in progress. Joanne Simpson and William Woodley are trying to settle a vexing issue. Can human beings, by seeding clouds, genuinely alter them to a worthwhile extent?
Can we turn back in here, or is it too close? How about a 270 to the left? Okay.
Outside the aircraft are mounted the silver iodide flares that help ice to form in clouds. But they don't necessarily fire when the order's given. That's decided by drawing a card at random, saying whether to seed or not. Today, the card says seed, but the experimenters up in front, as they select their clouds, don't know that.
Okay, Fritz, you ready? Ready. Fire 1, fire 2, fire 3, fire 4, fire 5.
They must judge any growth that occurs in the cloud without knowing whether they've really seeded it or not. That's to avoid bias.
Fire 6, fire 7, fire 8, fire 9, fire 10.
Only thorough statistics will convince the skeptics that rainmaking really works. Stationed across the Florida farmland, rain gauges give some evidence of increased rainfall directly under the seeded clouds. But does the seeding really make more rain over the target area as a whole?
Okay.
After 37 days of experiments spread over 4 years, Dr. Simpson and Dr. Woodley still can't say one way or the other. They need another 60 days in the air. In any case, nothing that humans do can yet compare with nature's casual building of a thunderstorm over the